Well, you've got to appreciate the ambition and the style with which Russia are trying to play, but it's not happening right now. Sean O'Brien not happy with something that went on at the bottom of that ruck.
Certainly doesn't seem too happy, and there's 4 or 5 Russian guys on top of him there, and he doesn't look best pleased, but an opportunity for Russia to move it there. You see it here, Sean O'Brien. Something obviously happened, and he's not too pleased.
The atmosphere still ramping up in this wonderful bowl of a stadium as Gresev drives off the base. Next pod waiting, led by Fatakov. Rashkov decides to go for territory, and it's a good kick from the Russian fly-off, though Trimble is going to try and reduce the advantage. A huge spiralling punt from Rob Carney up to Artemyev. Invites his fly-off to decide what the next option is. Again, it's boot to ball, and again Rob Carney takes securely. Heaslett up to support his Leinster teammate. Boss finds the way through to his fly-half. Spins it out to Paddy Wallace. McFadden hanging wide, trying to get outside Simplikovic. Anticipated by Rashkov and booted the ball into touch to allow the Russian team to get a bit of oxygen back in.
It's good defence again from Russia, and they seem to be a lot calmer in defence now, not shooting out of the line. We see the opportunity here, and it's pretty passive from Ireland. Paddy Wallace is the only one who tried to, and McFadden put some pace on it, but you'd probably prefer to have seen Earls take it on a bit more, and it's good defence from Russia. We have to give him credit, and we have to give him credit for the scrum before that as well. Gresev off the back of the scrum, they'll be pretty pleased with that.
Wallace feeding it behind to McFadden, coming up. McFadden's quick feet. Well, unfortunately, he tried to pass to Dave Pearson, and Pearson was having none of it. There's Alan Gaffney just wondering what backs move that was called. Of course, Gaffney has been at the centre of a little controversy over the past week with former Australian Timmy Horan. His comments in his newspaper column about how Ireland tried to slow everything down against Australia. Hopefully that storm seems to have passed, but certainly received a fair few column inches over here over the last week.
He wasn't best pleased about that, was he, Alan Gaffney?
He was about as angry as I've ever seen Alan Gaffney get, it has to be said. And anybody who knows him knows he's a very laid-back, laconic figure. But not enjoying being painted in that light during the week. Yushkin calling for the scrum.
That's a big call out of the Russians, and obviously with the last scrum was pretty solid. You see it here, it was for the early lift, I think. Donegal Callan going up in the air early, and referee penalised him, give him a free kick. And a big call from the Russians here to go for a scrum.
Crouch. Touch.
Artemyev coming across to this near side to give support to Ostroshko, but he's going to have to work into defensive mode now, because that's one against the head. McFadden setting the ball back for the next phase. Quick hands from Heaslett.
12 watts.
Callahan up to the 22. Boss trying to get the ball out. Got Fatakov as well, and the referee just trying to settle things down a bit. It's beginning to boil up a bit. A few little flash points coming at the contact areas.
Yeah, okay. Number 5. Wait.
Yeah, and it's Ireland probably being a bit frustrated by the Russians. We have to give the Russians credit for that, and looked very passive there when they moved the ball across the field, shipped it out to Fergus McFadden. Very, very passive. They need to be a bit more direct. They got great gains when they were direct in the first half.
Now let's see what Ireland are going to work from here. It's the old schoolboy tap move. Give it to your biggest and your best. And that's Jamie Heaslett. Boss gets the ball back, and it's Sean O'Brien again on the charge. O'Gara now puts it out to the backs. Earls inside one, trying to get through the second.
Onside, last man's feet wide.
Remember in the first game that Tommy Bow try just before half-time gave them such a fillip
Push back your watch.
going into the sheds at the break. Well, they've already got 2 tries obviously on the board, but a third now would be very, very helpful in their team talks, you suspect. Boss pulled down just short. Russian players flopping over the ball to stop the ball coming back quickly. And that's Adam Burns. Trimble trying to clear up that. Well, the WWF almost a distraction from the game of rugby that's going on in front of them. The ball still there for Ireland. Boss digging the ball out. Well, he's going to go upstairs, is Michel Joubert. Isaac Boss thinks he's got it against the base of the post, and of course if he's done that, that's try time. Upstairs, Julio De Santis is going to have a look at this. Isaac Boss certainly thinks it's job done.
He looks pretty confident walking away that he's got to try. Let's have a look at it here again.
Well, that is fairly clear indication that Ireland have got their third try. Quick thinking from the Irish scrum half.
Yeah, I think it's a try. He's clearly touched it off the post.
You may award a try.
Thanks.
And the arm goes up from Craig Joubert, followed by the arms of the Irish fans as they celebrate Isaac Boss's third try for his adopted country.
He's done well tonight, and he's a guy who'll want to make an impression. He had a good season last year with Leinster after moving from Ulster, and he's a guy who'll probably be pretty disappointed not to be on the 22. Conor Murray seems to have jumped ahead of him in selection, and certainly be out very positive guy and a very skillful player.
Owen Redden, the scrum half replacement on the bench this evening as O'Gara keeps his 100% record.
You see Ronan probably won't get to see it in the replay here. We see the try again, Isaac Boss's try, and it's good thinking out of Boss.
Well, there was a lot of distraction going on before with various people being, I think it was Adam Byrne being pulled off Ronan O'Gara by Andrew Trimble.
They seem to be having a bit of a wrestling match in the ground.
Good take again from Rob Kearney. You can see the Gaelic football influence in the way that he takes that ball, and he's very secure and confident. Achemiev, his opposite number, trying to run things back. Paddy Wallace trying to stumble his way up towards the Irish 10-metre line. Andrew Trimble cutting through. He's got Keith Earls outside him. Hint of a forward pass perhaps, but the officials don't mind, and neither does Keith Earls, because I think Keith Earls has just slid in for the bonus point try. They're going to check the grounding. Well, the question is there any reason that he cannot award the try?
I think if we could rewind and look back at the pass, certainly be a bit of doubt about that, but good break by Trimble, and very, very tight pass.
Looks to have his knees up there, doesn't he?
He's done very well there. He goes down low early. You see him here quite early.
Simplakevich coming across from the other wing to try and put him off, but there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the grounding. I think the Russians are very unhappy that the pass that Trimble gave to us was lateral, to say the least.
It's right below us here, and I think it was a clear forward pass. The linesman was probably 10 yards behind Trimble's break. Very fortunate for Ireland, and certainly the frustrations have every right to. The Russians have every right to be frustrated with that. It looked like a clear forward pass to Earls.
Let's just see it there as Trimble made the break. Here's the pass. Well, that was very obviously forward.
Very, very fortunate there, and disappointing for the Russians, but I suppose Ireland will be pleased. They'll take it. It's a good break for them. Gives them the bonus point.
Ronan O'Gara just going to look to add a little more icing on that particular cake before the ref blows for the end of this 40. Swings it in. It's a beautiful sight, and the flags go up. There was a moment's hesitation from the assistant referees, but Ronan O'Gara has 5 out of 5. Ireland already have the bonus point with those 2 tries in quick succession.
Very, very strong from Trimble. We have to give him credit for a really powerful break between the 2 Russians there. And
O'Brien, head down, straight through. And Russia just a little bit shell-shocked by the events of the last 3 minutes of this half. And here come the Irish again. Carney stepping inside, finds Heaslip. It's all sticking now for the Irish. Paddy Wallace pulled down just short of the 22. Oh, wow. Andrei Garbazov, the advantage is there. Andrew Trimble is going to take it. And the referee's arm has gone up, and Andrew Trimble has at last broken that 21-game try drought. And it's raining tries for the Irish at the end of this half.
I should send him to the bin. I'm going to make a game decision and say I'm not going to.
Well, benevolence from the referee, not going to yellow card Garbazov for a very obvious offside. But to be honest, Ireland don't mind, because they're just going to point to the scoreboard.
yeah, it's another. I'm delighted for Trimble. He deserves that. He's, as I said earlier, he's been played really well in the warm-up games, and he's played really well tonight here. You see Earls making a break, and great switch from Carney. Carney's done very well tonight as well. Another switch to Heaslip, offload to Wallace, and you know, they've come back strong here in these last few minutes. See Garbazov there, he knocks the ball back, and Trimble reacts quicker and gets a deserved try for his efforts. But I think a vote of sympathy for Garbazov there from the referee, because if Trimble didn't score that try, he was definitely going to the bin.
Well, a certain sense of deja vu for Ronan O'Gara. I thought the last conversion was going to be the last kick of the half, and here he is with another one from a very similar spot. And almost a very similar result. Well, Ireland totally in charge of this match, thanks to that trio of tries in the last 3 minutes of the half. It's all very rosy for the Irish, with a half-time score that reads Ireland 36, Russia 0. The last time these two met was some 9 years ago, when Ireland defeated Russia 35 points to 3 in Krasnoyarsk in a qualifier for the then 2003 Rugby World Cup. A certain Mr. Dempsey had a couple of tries in the first half of that one, and Ronan O'Gara scored 15 of those 35 points. Well, if we were talking about the Irish defence after the Australia game, it is the Irish attack that we're talking about through the first 40 minutes of this, and that man Rob Carney was instrumental in making sure Ireland got that go forward. Cian Healy on the charge, enjoying the open spaces.
Release the ball when you tackle. Release the ball. 7 completed the tackle.
We said this halfway through the Italy-Russia match. How important is it to keep focused on the game, to keep the target in mind and not to take your foot off the pedal?
That's the challenge for Ireland now. They had a period for about 15-20 minutes in the first half. Started very good, that period in the middle, and then finished well in the first half. They'll want to come out and try and get a get an early score here, start well in the second half, and really take that confidence away from any confidence that Russia can gain. We've seen Carney here again. He's hit a strong game, very, very good. We know he's strength under the high ball, but he's ran well with the ball tonight, and